Good evening, everyone, in person and online. I'm seeing a few new faces. Welcome. It's good to be here with all of you. My name is Ryugin. I'm a senior student here at the Village Zendo. And today, I am ascending this seat for the very first time. Wow. I'm actually feeling kind of nervous. I have a lot of respect, reverence to this seat and all the people who have ascended it, which is where fear of failure kicks in, my fear to disappoint. I can feel it right now, this tightness in my chest. Have you ever felt this way? So I picked a koan that I thought could help me work through my trepidation. And I hope you would find it helpful too. It is from the Book of Serenity, case number 27. Fayan points to a blind. Fayan pointed to a blind. The two monks went at the same time and rolled up the blind. Fayan said, "One gain, one loss." It's short, let me repeat it. Fayan pointed to a blind. The two monks went at the same time and rolled up the blind. Fayan said, "One gain, one loss." The Buddhist teachings point to 8 worldly concerns. They are 4 pairs of seemingly opposing conditions that we humans are prone to obsess over, leading to suffering. Gain and loss is one of these pairs. And the instruction is, pay attention. Pay attention to what you do in the face of these conditions. Or in other words, as Dogen calls it, study the self. It's an opportunity to study the self. Today, May 29th, is my good friend Amnon's birthday. You don't know him, he lives far away. But the reason I mention it is because, to me, Amnon has been a great inspiration. He's a prolific visual artist. I love his paintings. But even more relevant to us, for as long as I can remember, Amnon has been studying the self. Ever since high school, roughly 30 years, Amnon has been spending hours and hours every day painting his self-portrait. Again and again and again, I've witnessed him work on a few occasions. He's absorbed in it like a child in play. And it became clear to me that he's not doing it out of motivation to perfect his next great masterpiece. He's doing it for the joy of practice. Continuously studying, refining, adding detail, depth, but never reaching a final destination. So today, I invoke Amnon's natural Zen ability to help me dive deeper into this koan. Fayan was one of the great masters of Tang Dynasty Zen. He was the head of one of the 5 major schools of Zen in China at that time. And according to the Book of Serenity, one day he went up to a meeting just before the midday meal where he pointed to a blind. Seeing this gesture, 2 monks went at the same time and rolled up the blind. Strange, isn't it? Why 2? Are they collaborating? Is this a 2-person job? What's going on here? I like to argue. Some of you have experienced it firsthand. Some would say it's a very Jewish thing. In fact, in Judaism, there's a tradition of studying through arguing. It's a tradition that facilitates deeper understanding and engagement with the material through debate and exchange of ideas. Is that what's happening here? Maybe. When Fayan saw the 2 monks roll up the blind, he said, "One gain, one loss." Or in another translation, one has it, the other has not. Can you imagine the wave of emotion, of judgment that washed through the room in that moment? The entire assembly must have been in turmoil. "Oh, I was too clumsy." He probably noticed and realized, "I don't have it." Or, "I must be the one who has it. I was completely at one with the task at hand." "Oh, if it were me up there, I would have shown them." Thank Buddha it wasn't me up there. I recently spoke with my fellow Zen peacemaker, Vibes, about the dynamic in her Sangha in Germany. She told me that when she first joined the Sangha, she noticed everyone was on fire, running. And she thought to herself, where are they running? I thought we're already there. Where are they running? Are they competing? Seeking their teacher's approval? It leads me to what Dogen tells us in his essay, Continuous Practice. In the continuous practice of the way of Buddha ancestors, do not be concerned about whether you are a great or modest hermit, whether you are brilliant or dull. Just forsake name and gain forever, and don't be bound by myriad conditions. Do not waste the passing time. Brush off the fire on top of your head. Do not wait for great enlightenment, as great enlightenment is the tea and rice of daily activity. Let me read it again. In the continuous practice of the way of Buddha ancestors, do not be concerned about whether you are a great or modest hermit, whether you are brilliant or dull. Just forsake name and gain forever, and don't be bound by myriad conditions. Do not waste the passing time. Brush off the fire on top of your head. Do not wait for great enlightenment, as great enlightenment is the tea and rice of daily activity. Speaking of daily activity, my dear friend Amnon also taught me how to play chess when we were in high school. And for that, I'm forever grateful. I love chess. It's such a great game. So much drama. Most of it, though, doesn't happen on the board. It happens inside. And for me, it is another opportunity to study the self. I like to win. I like to win. And I do win sometimes. But after a winning streak, I often become overconfident. And that can cause problems. I stop paying attention. I underestimate the situation. I miss what's happening right before my eyes. Then I make a mistake. My opponent captures a piece that was central to my strategy. And what happens next is really amazing. The impulse to get even, to retaliate, arises. You took my knight, I'll take your bishop. Does that sound familiar? It seems to me that at this moment, in our country, in the world, so many people are driven by vindictiveness. Now, I can't tell you what will happen. I don't know what will happen in this country or in the world. But I can tell you that in chess, these games usually take a very long time. And they end with very few pieces on the board for both sides. A lone king, maybe a rook, stalemate. To me, Fayan's one gain, one loss is less of a judgment or a final verdict and more of a mirror. A bright flash of lightning meant to wake up the room. Pay attention, he says. Pay attention to what you do. Do you become complacent when you win? Do you retaliate when you lose? Slide down into despair? Freezing your tracks because you're too afraid to make another mistake? Pay attention. I'm reminded of the 3 tenets of the Zen peacemakers. Not knowing, bearing witness, and taking action. Action that arises from not knowing and bearing witness. Call and response. Hearing the call and responding with whatever is called for. Just roll up the blind. Call and response. Responding to what's in front of us and not some idea in our head. And yes, mistakes will be made. In a recent precept talk, Ryugin Roshi referenced the koan, Yakujo and the fox. And he pointed to a line in the verse. Not ignoring, not falling, hundreds and thousands of regrets. Or mistakes in another translation. Hundreds and thousands of mistakes. We make them, we notice them, and we come back to our intention to live a life of a decent human being, as Ryugin Roshi said. it's not that precept that Rio was talking about in relation to this, but for me, the sixth grade precept comes to mind here. Not discussing the faults of others. Or in another translation that I like, not dwelling on past mistakes, creating wisdom from ignorance. Not dwelling on past mistakes, creating wisdom from ignorance. I like it because it makes it clearer, to me at least, that it includes our own faults and past mistakes. And it suggests that there are opportunities for learning and transformation. Many religions have this guiding principle that if you believe in God, Jesus, you name it, you'll be a winner. We Buddhists are a bit more pragmatic. For us, it's less about winning or losing, and more about trying to get comfortable with making mistakes and keep going. Dogen's teachings emphasize that enlightenment is not some future state to be achieved, but a continuous process of actualization, moment to moment. A continuous process of actualization, moment to moment. That's why we call it practice. My buddy Amnon and I share a love for the writings of Samuel Beckett. So, in honor of Amnon's birthday, I would like to end with a quote from Beckett. Ever tried, ever failed. No matter. Try again. Fail again. Fail better.